My name is Tate McKenna, and my soul is blacker than my heart. Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be giving you guys a spoiler-free review of Volition by Paradis. Now, before I get into the review, or even just what this book's about, I have to mention one thing. I am in the acknowledgements of this book. I know regardless of how close or how far I pull it away, you really can't read it, but my name is in here, in the acknowledgements of a book. I'm freaking acknowledged. What the heck? Just had to share a little bit of information with you guys because it absolutely blew my mind. And I cried. I think that is just possibly the craziest thing that has ever happened to me, and I am so blessed to actually be acknowledged in this book. I can't even begin to tell you what an amazing person Paradis is, let alone an author. Like, let's just put it out of the way. She's just such an amazing person, and I really love her to death. So thank you so much, Lily. Not even for sending me this book and letting me be able to read this book, but for acknowledging me, because that really made a huge impact on me, and I don't think I will ever forget that. But let's get back to the book. So Volition is Paradis' second novel, which just recently got released on February 6th. Volition is really unlike any book I have ever read in my entire life. We follow a girl named Tate, who, obviously, by my little characterization, she's a very dark character. We begin by following Tate as she's on a plane from Charleston to New York. She's running from her really dark past. She wants to become this new Tate. On the plane, she meets a boy named Hayden, and you can see from the beginning there's just something that draws them to each other. But there are a million reasons why she can't commit to this guy. Kinda sounds like a love triangle, yeah, but I can promise you it's not, and I will get into it later in the spoiler-free review. So just a few more general thoughts about this book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, 100%. So unique, so unlike anything I've read before, as I'm gonna say a million times in this video, because oh my god, this is the most individual book I have ever seen. Now, I absolutely adore the way this book is written. I am already obsessed with Paradis' writing style. She just has a God-given gift of writing. But what's really cool about this book is every chapter is written from then and now. It is super interesting because yes, most novels do have flashbacks of some sort, but this book just has a very different feel to it. Instead of Tate telling us her past from the present, we actually watch it unfold from the past. And I know that kind of sounds like a normal flashback, but when you read this book, you know what I'm saying when I feel like it is two cohesive novels working together through different timelines. Oh my god, so unique. I can't even think of a different word to describe it because it was just so lovely to read. Now, I really love Tate's character. I don't even know where to start with this girl because she's one of the most complex characters out there, and I just relate to her on such a personal level. She is constantly admitting that she's not perfect and she can't do this and can't do that because of her past. She's just so haunted by this past that she can't break away from it. I feel like she's extremely realistic, other than the whole, you know, obsessed with death thing. But I just feel like Tate gets me. I just feel like we react similarly to certain situations, that we're on the same mental level, which is something I really love from protagonists that I'm reading from. As I said before, Tate is a very dark character, which is another trait that separates her from a lot of the protagonists out there. She is constantly talking about this darkness inside of her, and I promise you it's not as pretentious as it sounds, but it's just very genuine. Because of her past, you can really see why she's dark and why she does a lot of the things in the then sections of the book. I just feel like she's insane in a good way. Like, I don't mean she's completely mental, but she's just crazy in all the right aspects, which makes her even more of an attractive character to me. Now, Paradis states in the foreword that she hates love triangles and refused to ever write them, which I applaud her for. But she said that some people might view this as a love triangle. At first I kinda did. It kinda gives you that feel because it's the two opposing guys and the one girl. But personally, I don't believe this is a love triangle. And it's not the same viewpoint I have on the whole Team Edward, Team Jacob thing because that just didn't exist. But yes, there are two guys in this book that Tate is involved with in many different ways, but I promise you it is not a love triangle. One guy, Jesse Elliott, is told from the past where Tate is old Tate. Old Tate is constantly doing drugs and drinking and partying and dating the wrong guys and constantly rebelling from her stereotypical rich Southern family. She's still recovering from a tragic incident that happened years ago. She's just constantly hurting, and Jesse is a huge reason for that. And then there's the other guy, Hayden Rockefeller, and yes, I mean the Rockefeller. And her story with Hayden is told from the present, where she's trying to become this new Tate. And new Tate is somebody who takes responsibility. She wants to pursue an actual job, she wants to get an apartment and live on her own and support herself, and most importantly, she wants to escape this past with Jesse, this past in Charleston that has just haunted her for so many years. Now, I refuse to give you guys any indication as to what the ending is or what my feelings on the ending are, because it does kind of have that whole I choose this person thing that's associated with a love triangle. So I'm only going to talk about these characters and their relationships with Tate in general. Now, I hate Jesse Elliott. Now, I don't know if Lily wrote Jesse for you to hate him or if she wrote it with the intention of you ending up loving him, but I honestly cannot think of a single character I have ever hated more than Jesse Elliott. And I sat in front of my bookshelf and I went through all my books and I was trying to think of a single character I hated more than Jesse Elliott. And nothing. Jesse just always manages to screw up Tate's life. He comes in at the worst possible times when she's just trying to salvage whatever bit of happiness she can. And Tate so freaking deserves to be happy that it pains me, and with Jesse Elliott in existence, Tate can't be. Now, another reason why everyone might consider this to be a love triangle is because Tate is constantly going back to the fact that she believes that Jesse's her soulmate. She really wants Hayden, but oh, oops, he's not her soulmate, Jesse is. She always says that they're so in love and they're meant to be together and that he is hers and she is his. But to me, it felt more like an obsessive crush than fate. She never really mentions why they're soulmates, and every interaction they've ever had is very tense, and I mean that in like the worst way. And anytime she was just about to be happy and like was just about to forget about everything that happened in Charleston, she's like, oh, but Jesse is my soulmate. And it really felt like a 13-year-old to me. And I'm not saying necessarily this is this huge fault in Tate because it's really such a minor thing, but I just really hate Jesse because he just doesn't let her go. He refuses to let Tate go, and she needs to be free from him. But Hayden Rockefeller is made for Tate McKenna. Like, goddamn, I don't know what drugs are in Tate's system, but it was obvious from the second that they met that they were supposed to be together. Now, of course, this is just my crazy shipping OTP feels going on right here. Some people might prefer Jesse with Tate. I just don't. And I'm not saying that this is insta-love at all, because it 100% is not. I am a firm believer that insta-love should be eradicated from the earth, and this book, not insta-love. But it's from that first encounter that you feel that spark. Like when Peeta gives Katniss the bread, or when Clary sees Jason in the club, or when 4 first welcomes Trista Dauntless. It's just there, and you know it. Hayden just completely understands Tate, like when she's having one of her episodes, because she really does do some crazy things sometimes. He does nothing but support her and tell her it's okay, because in reality it is okay. He lets her take control of the situation because he knows it's how she functions. And they just click, they just get each other, and reading the now parts of this book were such a pleasure. Now, another interesting part of this book is it kind of skips a year. When I read that, I was really shocked because I thought it was an epilogue. I was like, this is the longest epilogue in all of existence. But I really just realized that the novel just goes on. And it's nice because you see the change in that year. It's very easy to write an epilogue that happens 19 years later, I feel. Writing one that has happened a year and 6 months later, I feel like is much harder because they need to be at a similar point in their life, but they also need to have grown. And that's what Lily Paradis did perfectly. Again, not talking about the ending, that's something that you're gonna have to read for yourself. But for those of you who do pick up Volition, I would love to see your thoughts on the ending. Again, I highly recommend this book. It was so good. It's definitely one of my favorite reads of 2015 so far. Now, a question I really wished I could answer in this video was, do I like Ignite, her first novel, better, or Volition? I don't know if I can answer that. These two books are so different. Ignite is very similar to everything I read, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just, you know, it has that stereotypical love story and the funny, awkward, cute moments, and Volition is so different. It was just overwhelming and new and fresh and wow. The success of Ignite on BookTube is crazy, and I can only hope that Volition gets the same amount of hype, if not more. I recommend a lot of books in my videos, but if you're really looking for something new, I highly force this book on you. I really can't even think of anything else to say except how amazing this book was. Very high quality literature. Even though it's new adult, anyone who reads young adult or whatever genres float your boat, I feel like you will really enjoy this book. So that is my spoiler-free review of Volition by Lily Paradis. Thank you so much, Lily, Elia, and everyone at Empire Books for being able to send me a copy of this book because it really made an impact on me, especially you, Lily, so thank you so much. So leave a comment below if you liked this review, if you're planning on picking up Volition, because I'd really love for this review to just reach out to someone and make them say, I want that book. And of course, anyone who has read this book, please get in contact with me somewhere because I need more people to talk about this with. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you soon for a new video. Bye!